What you're about to hear is intended for adult audiences. IDs or fake IDs will be checked at the door.
I told you not to touch it. I told you not to touch it. I told you not to touch it. You broke it. I told you not to touch it.
Okay, there we go.
Hello. Hi, I'm your host, Jacob Waskow, and welcome to The Breakup, a podcast about destroying the things you love by giving them away. I say host, but actually I'm joined by my co-host, Samuel Young.
If you make me watch another show at the end of this, I will kill you. I'm just gonna say that. Like, if I have to spend my entire fucking week on a thing, I will kill you.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, we've been doing this a long time, and I feel like you would have gotten used to the grotesque one-sidedness of this. Oh, we should explain briefly the rules of the game. It's not a premise, it's a game. Like Jigsaw.
No one wins this game. I'm just giving you a heads up.
No one wins playing with Jigsaw. The rules of the game is me and Sam, exchange two movies or TV shows or anything else we can think of, games, any piece of media that we love, enjoy, wholesomely appreciate, and in a desperate hope to try and learn and love each other as friends, we give that away for the other person to rip to fucking shreds because they're a heartless monstrosity.
We are exchanging media for each other's betterment and possibly detriment.
It was your fucking idea.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, fine, alright. So, I guess you should start. What did you watch?
What did I watch? So this week, Jacob had me watch the 1997 anime, all 25 episodes of the anime Berserk.
Oh, that sounds violent. Is it violent?
It is a show about two men who really just need to bone.
Okay.
I mean, that's really what it's about. It's about two guys who just need to fuck.
Who just, like, they haven't gotten around to experimenting with each other, and they just need to have sex already.
Everything would be solved if Guts just fucked Griffin, or vice versa.
The pathos would release itself, and everything would turn out hunky-dory if they just fucked each other.
Yes.
Raw and hard.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Also, there's, like, a war, and there's demons and gods.
Demon gods.
God
babies.
It is a show about, like, a big guy with a sword, and he kills things, and he kind of feels... I don't know really what he feels. The people around him are a bit more interesting than he is.
So you're saying that a male character with a large phallic object...
Yes, there are so many
skewers
scenes...
his phallic object into many other things and people. And you're saying he needs to skewer another phallic object into another guy's special
Well, it's not
place.
phallic if it actually is a phallus.
Wait,
So you're
it's
saying... It's like Inception phallus.
So you're saying that if you describe a phallus as phallic, that's a no. That's a no-no.
It just starts... It's like an Ouroboros. It starts to eat itself.
That is some Berserk-level imagery,
Yeah,
my
kind
friend.
of is. There are so many scenes where he is holding that sword, like, right on his crotch, and the camera just longingly pans up.
Yeah.
The show has already trolled me with, like, naked men basically almost wrestling and having, like, a happy boy fun time water fight.
That's just them expressing their friendship for each other. They're like, the 90s were a different time. Young men of a certain age could wrestle each other with water cascading over their muscular bodies, and that wouldn't be gay. That wouldn't be at all homoerotic.
I do not find the idea of men wrestling each other in a homoerotic way to be funny. I find it amusing that the show doesn't quite ever go there, except it really seems to want to.
You think that is the hidden Berserk agenda?
I don't think it's hidden, actually. Okay, let me revise that statement. I'm pretty sure this show is about, like, protagonist Griffith featuring Guts is like, I really want to fuck that guy, but you know what? My dreams of
knighthood and royalty
will be completely obviated.
I can't give into my truer urges.
He just can't love.
See, now this is interesting you mentioned this, because I distinctly remember a scene where Griffith is super grossed out by the fact he had homosexual relations with another man.
Well, no, but that's really exploitative and creepy and gross. And we'll get to that, actually, the parts of that part of Berserk. So I think I have fully summarized this in a very lucid manner. Tell me why you like this, Jacob.
You're gonna laugh. Like, you're gonna like be stunned and bewildered.
I'm preparing the spit take.
I find Berserk oddly feminist.
That wasn't funny enough.
Yeah, okay. No,
Keep
hold
talking.
on. Should I do like a Seinfeld opener? Like, I just flew in, and boy, is Berserk feminist.
I can't do the baseline thing, or else I would help you out there.
there.
Just, okay, yeah, go on.
The show is, for those of you who haven't watched Berserk, basically it is a story about betrayal at a very basic sense, about what friendship and loyalty sort of means, and whether that relationship can be at its base kind of exploitative or not. Like a weird libertarian, objectivist, creepy, soulless monster interpretation of friendship. But
I don't think there really is a political aspect.
Oh no,
to
I
it.
was just saying sort of like. I don't think...
Maybe.
But basically, I find that the three main characters, one of which you haven't mentioned, Casca...
Yeah, I have a lot to say about Casca, actually.
All of them sort of are weirdly trapped in what they think their respective gender is supposed to mean, and what it's supposed to do. And the show seems to really back and forth between, like, this is so cringeworthy 90s ideas of what gender is supposed to be.
Well, it's not even 90s. It's
very not great. Like 80s, whatever.
He's super not great a few times.
But every time it is super duper not great. The characters don't like that it's super duper not great. No one's really enjoying the male power fantasy, or... Well, the only person who does is Griffith, and arguably Griffith is the villain of the entire show. Guts routinely is like, you know what, I'm basically a soulless killing machine, and I actually kind of hate that about myself. I just feel like this is like someone's bad attempt at talking about toxic masculinity. Like, I refuse to believe the sheer level of grotesqueness at times is unintentional.
Well, I was going to say, so, twist, I really enjoyed watching this.
Okay!
I really, really liked it.
Okay.
I had a lot of problems with it, but I actually, like, genuinely enjoyed it. And so, you know, that is part of the experiment.
Okay.
We're trying to...
You enjoyed it. Here's the real question, the question that every Berserk fan, all 2.5 of them listening to this, are interested in. What did you think of the ending?
And there's where my problem kind of came in.
Okay.
So let's roll back a bit. What I liked about... So this felt like Game of Thrones in anime. Like, it was on a smaller scale, but it had that, you know, here are medieval politics. There's sort of a supernatural element that doesn't really become important until the very end when people realize how screwed they are.
Here's the thing about that. Like, that pacing of all of the supernatural stuff, like, you meet Zod, and that's the first, like, holy shit, something is really wrong here.
Well, no, but the first episode is him fighting, like, Snake Man, who... that was a moment I was watching that episode, and Guts goes out to fight Snake Guy, and I was like, don't turn into a giant snake. Don't do it. You're
giant
gonna die.
snake.
It's just no, you turn into a giant...
No, he's dead now. Well, I mean, giant snake episode aside, I'm visibly doing the side thing, which you can't see. That's one of those things where it starts media and res, obviously, because that's not...
Well, no, it start like... Okay, let's not argue about what in media res means.
Well, fine then.
No, I enjoyed it a lot. I like the politics. I like that it's very character driven. I like that in whole it's about like the limitations of friendship, and also, you know, what happens when one of those friends actually turns out to be a really horrible person. And so I like the characters. I like the dynamics. I really enjoyed it. And I think, like, there were parts where it dragged. There were, like, I attempted to rate every episode, like, out of 4, but I kind of gave up on that because I had to watch, like, 10 of them last night.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine you were just shotgunning these things and wishing you were dead.
Well, no, not quite. Definitely, like, it was quite a thing to go through the ending all together like that.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's my problems, though, is, like, Casca is a really wasted character.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because she's just like, I'm wrapped up in these two men's lives, and I really care what men think of me, and because she's so defined by what she thinks of Griffin, or Griffith rather,
and
Griffin McElroy, the antagonist of Berserk.
Your youngest brother, pale hair Griffin. Basically, she explains that, okay, yeah, I really owe Griffin my life, but yeah, she's very kind of trapped by everything having to do with Griffith. Then she kind of breaks free of that.
Kind of, but then it's just like it's about guts.
Yeah, by going for guts. And but there's like this remorse that the voice actor sort of conveys when she's explaining that I think kind of, yeah, it's still in terms of characterization. Mm-hmm. But it's almost like everyone's kind of going through these very sad emotions of like, Griffith showed me that I don't have to be a literal sexual object, but that's kind of all I know.
Well, but also that is, I wouldn't call it poetically, but somewhat shattered at the very last image of the series. Yeah,
kind of. So it gets worse. It gets worse, Sam. I will assure you, it gets worse.
Oh, I know. I was sort of looking up like what happens in the manga, and it's pretty bad. And it's funny because I liked the thing where he becomes Griffith becomes a demon in the end, and he has to sacrifice his friends because why should I stop? It's sunk cost fallacy. Why should I stop now? I did not like that Casca gets raped at the end.
Yeah. No, I don't think anyone does.
I wouldn't even say it was gratuitous because it was. I hate defending this. There was a point to it, and it wasn't just to be like edgy and shock value. Although there were a few images that were, but at the same time, I felt like what little character there was of her, it was a massive disservice, and it makes it into that male narrative of like, oh, my woman was violated, my woman was raped, and now I must avenge her, and it never actually takes her feelings about it into account, especially because the show ends there. You never really find out what happens after that.
Well, okay. I will tell you right now what happens to her.
Oh, no, I looked it up. It's pretty horrible.
Yeah, you don't want to know what happens to her. Like, that ending there is enough. And it's one of those things where I think it is horrible, but obviously it's like, oh my god, what's his name? Guy who says N-word a lot in his movies.
Oh, Tarantino. Well, we already who we made fun of in the first episode.
Yeah, it's like Tarantino using the N-word, right? Yeah. It's trying to create such utter horror and rage. But, like, that's the thing, is the show is called Berserk, and it's about a guy literally going berserk. And that there's this good online comic that I found really funny to give it sort of context of just, like, Guts is forced to watch this happen, and he can't do anything. But again,
the problem is all that it's about Guts. It's not about Casca.
But then one of the demons gouges one of his eyes out, almost being like, whoa, dude, I'm so sorry having to see this, dude. Let me gouge your eye out so you don't even have to watch it anymore.
Friend demon will do.
Nice demon dude.
Just remove Lefty here and...
being like, oh no, whoa, this is too hardcore. Like, here, let me help you out, man.
I'm a demon and I think this is way too much. We've really pushed it past.
Whoa, gee, like, I'm used to hell. This is like some weird, like, Machiavellian shit.
Hell has standards.
Yeah, this is gross.
I'm sending a letter.
I'm writing a letter formally complaining to the God Hand that their newest member does not belong in this organization. I'm sorry.
My editorial will appear in the Hell Picayune on the Sunday edition.
So basically, it's the problem of the show is that it is a very male-gazy fantasy way of trying to make everyone angry.
I will say, like, well, I was actually surprised how sensitively it does handle some stuff. Some of it is just, like, edgy, edgelord crap.
Yeah.
And I know it's been toned down from the manga because I looked it up afterwards. But there were moments where I was like, I thought it was going to go one way and it didn't. And little gold star show, you didn't do the horrible thing.
Okay, what was the horrible thing you were expecting?
Well, I thought there were several times I thought bad sexual things were going to happen to Casca, and they didn't, other than right at the end. Why? Here's an interesting theme. Why is it that so far in this little project that you and I are doing, Why is it that both the things you sent me had some sort of issue with sexuality in women? Why is that happening both times?
Maybe I'm secretly evil. Did you ever think about that?
Well, we already talked about that, and the jury is still out.
We can never talk about that episode.
I will tell you, Enemy of Half the Podcast and Nothing Else, Jesse Cowell, I told him what you'd made me watch, and he laughed hysterically and said, "Oh, you'll hate it."
Well, you apparently don't.
I proved him wrong. Well, he's read the manga. He isn't familiar with the anime, so he had a different impression of it.
Well, what I suggested to him was watch the show, don't read it. And what I thought had happened was he watched the show and went, I want to read more of this, and kept reading, which was the mistake. No,
he hadn't seen the show at all.
Okay, so he made the critical mistake of just reading, which, whoopsie. Although reading does sort of give the added benefit of, why does the God Hand exist? Well, here's why.
I feel like it's actually a really good climax to end on that, is his ascension and him betraying everyone. But on the other hand, I think they could have probably cut out a lot of the stuff in the middle and just sort of got there quicker and had a more of a resolution.
Yeah, see, this is what I was trying to say earlier, where some people have sort of complained that the anime is kind of slower paced than, say, they've recently made movie adaptations, which are more true to the manga and introduce everyone's favorite character, Skull Knight, a walking skeleton.
Yeah, I was reading he's the reason they get out of like Hell's
Yeah, because he just stumbles in out of nowhere on his horse.
Spoilers for
Berserk. For this like 35-year-old manga, for this ancient fucking thing that took like a 12-year break in the middle of it when they were on a goddamn boat. But yeah, basically, I like the slowness. Some people complain about, this is milk out, but I think...
Hey, this isn't about what you like. This is about what I like.
I'm trying to defend myself. I'm trying to humanize myself, trying to sort of express this thing that I enjoy. I thought this was a group communal thing, you selfish prick.
Nah. Anyway, long story short.
Why do you make me hurt?
Long story short, with caveats, I really enjoyed it. I actually thought it was really cool. Because I thought going into it was going to be like, fight, 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 sword, 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 must fight things, like so many shonen anime. But it actually is a lot more deconstructive and more interesting.
Let's not get into an argument about what shonen means. That would demean the podcast. But yeah, no, I see what you mean. It's a lot more than that. And
yeah,
I think I can appreciate it for what it's trying to do, despite...
No, I can too, yeah.
So, yeah, that's Berserk.
Yeah, that's Berserk. So, yeah, final verdict, I think, thumbs up for me.
Hey.
I think I would actually, maybe not to everyone, but I would recommend it.
Okay,
So there's your first victory.
Well, I'm glad that I have continued my trend of making you think I'm evil. And
you have...
going to continue that proudly.
In the game we're not actually playing, you have earned a point.
Yes. Sweet.
So why don't we move on to what I made you watch?
What did you make me watch again?
I made Jacob watch Mulholland Drive, a movie by David Lynch.
Yeah, this was my first David Lynch film. I heard a lot about David Lynch. Actually, do you want me to sort of... I wrote out... I'm trying to shuffle some papers, but I use this in Word. I wrote out a summary of Mulholland Drive. Do you want me to read it out for you?
Yes, please. Yeah. I would love to hear that.
Okay. Mulholland Drive is a documentary on the 2007 and 8 writer's strike, focusing on the financial and artistic challenges Hollywood faced during this time. With no one to write lines for the population of Los Angeles, those near Hollywood streets were most effective. Experiments to break free from the imposed silence are met with failure as surreal, jarring moments of facial and emotional disconnect from lines are spat out in rigid iambic pentameter. People begin to suffer from mental and emotional regression just from being within the vicinity of the supposed brain drain years of Hollywood, and octogenarians are affected worst of all. For some reason, Hey, you're going to respect the summary I'm giving you with this stupid laughter shit. Calm down.
Fully respect it.
For some reason, the copy I completely legally acquired was spliced with amateur lesbian erotica at around the 2/3 mark. Which, to my understanding, overwrote the part of the documentary that tries to humanize the writers on strike. Seth MacFarlane of Family Guy fame cameos as a poop goblin. And that's basically Mulholland Drive. I think that he's a famed documentarian, and I'm glad I got to see some of Lynch's particular vision personally. Poop Goblin, Seth MacFarlane's fucking scary. Yeah, so why do you like the shitty film? Tell me now.
I like weird dream shit, and I also like stuff about Hollywood insider stuff, which is weirdly enough a subplot of the movie you actually managed to get into. Yeah, I just like weird dream crap.
Okay.
And I think it's actually kind of a scary movie, and I think it's cool.
Okay, so you like it for...
I have a weirdly not intellectual reason for liking this movie.
Okay, that's surprising, considering I'm talking to you, and we're talking about David Lynch. So basically, you think that it's kind of a scary film.
I think it's a scary movie about dreams and about ambition.
Okay. I wouldn't have garnered ambition. Like, okay, so the poop goblin scene is particularly sort of noteworthy to me because, yeah, that is actually a very scary, good scene, despite the fact that the guy, I don't think he's even given a name, but the short-haired, dark-haired guy, and they're at, like, the Denny's knockoff, he's delivering it, the whole sort of discussion, like some Rain Man level shit of just, like, no emotion or, like, mismatched stuff going on. While this horrifying dream he's describing is just like, oh yeah, it was absolutely terrifying, man. And then it starts happening, and I'm like, wait, what? It's actually happening? And they go outside, and the movie does a good job of, like, okay, he knows it's there, he knows the scary man is there, and he just keeps going, and his friend's like, wait, this is actually happening? Because the other guy's caught on too. And then Poop Goblin's like, ah! And you discovered my weakness, which is jump scares. I can't handle jump scares. I freak the...
I did not remember that part of the
Yeah,
movie,
no,
actually.
like,
funny.
Poop Goblin just goes, bah! Freaks out from side of this, like, weird decrepit half wall, like a fence or something. And poor, short-haired, potentially, I don't even know because he never shows up again, just collapses. He fucking faints. And that's it. That's the end of the film, as far as I'm concerned. Everything else after that is just... Okay, I have mostly questions.
Oh, please ask them.
Who's the cowboy? There's a cowboy in this movie, listeners, who has no hair? Because he doesn't have eyelashes. As far as I can tell, he's just a hairless cowboy who controls light.
He's, if I'm not mistaken, and this is not going to satisfy you at all, he's just some guy that David Lynch knows that he's put in the movie.
That's satisfying me in the sense that of everything I have heard about David Lynch, that sounds about accurate. That sounds right, par for the core.
Okay, but so let's dig into this a little. Let's
Yeah,
break this up a bit.
why don't we?
Because the thing I always remember from the movie, the thing that I really love, is where they're at the performance, the theatrical society that's effectively they're lip syncing to everything.
No.
And the women watch that, and I think those are really great, tense, frightening for a really unconventional reason sort of scenes.
Well, okay, how is it frightening?
Just because you don't
understand?
You really don't. No, it's not even the not understanding. It's just like, what is going to happen here? Because it amps up the tension. Like the song goes on, and the woman dies or she collapses.
Well, okay.
And you're like, what the fuck?
All
is
right,
gonna
I'm gonna have
happen
to
here?
cut you off there, asshole. Because basically Poop Goblin happens, and I'm like, oh my god, he sent me a scary film. He sent me a fucking horror film. Okay, all right, I'm ready. And then for the next hour, I'm waiting for something to happen. For an entire fucking hour of my life, I'm like arms gripped onto my seat, being like, okay, I'm fucking ready. Okay, I'm ready. And then nothing happens. And then I realize I have no idea what is going on. I know nothing. And for the first time in my life, Sam, I'm angry I don't know anything. I'm actually furious. I am swearing at the screen I'm watching it on, and here's the problem, Sam. I had pre-gamed before watching this.
Oh, you cheated.
That's not cheating. Drinking to relax.
I thought you looked
and
something up.
okay, I'm gonna settle into a
No,
weird
you have to imbibe
David
alcohol.
Lynch experience. I'm gonna enjoy some alcohol. So I pre-gamed 1 or 2 vodka drinks before doing this.
The coolers you mentioned before we started
coolers. And that's it. That was enough for me to stay angry. And I looked at the time and I went, well, okay, it's the shitty sort of versions I saw on YouTube were only an hour and a half. And so I looked and realized I had another hour and a half left to go. And so it went. As Bokaноnism would say, it's so it goes. That's not the right book. So, yeah.
Throwing a little Kurt Vonnegut reference there.
Yeah, okay. Explain the lesbianism for me. Like the very odd... That made me uncomfortable, actually.
Oh, yeah. Really? See, okay, interesting.
Because I'm riding my anger high, and then they start kissing after having met less than 1 day.
See, I think it's a really beautiful love scene, actually.
Because at that point, I was like, is Sam secretly evil? Is this just info terrorism he's going through? Because everything fucking changes. The gears shifting on this movie are enough to just destroy any car.
Okay, so do you want to hear my theory of Mulholland Drive? What is actually
You think it's all
on?
a dream? You kind of hinted at that.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. It's a little more complicated.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it is.
Oddly enough,
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's so complex. Go on, enlighten me.
I honestly think it's actually one of David Lynch's more coherent movies.
Well, I'm not surprised by that.
And I'm sure that David Lynch is the master of saying, I don't know what it means, so I'm not going to tell you. But I take it as the end of the movie where they're at the party and their roles have changed. I take that as to be real. And that what we're seeing beforehand is her name isn't Betty. That's her name in the dream. It's not what's the actress
L something.
Name?
Yeah. L something.
Is it Naomi Watts?
I don't know. I'm never good with actresses' names.
Anyway, it's her guilt and sadness.
What our relationship could have been, kind of deal.
Yeah, it's her idealization of why she's in Hollywood and her relationship with the other woman.
Okay.
And so it's just it's almost this guilt spiral. So if you treat it as sort of the movie has gone backwards.
Okay.
Because I think it begins with the car accident. Well, it kind of it loops a little bit. But,
okay. So there are 3 to 4 difficult problems with your game theory.
I didn't say it was quite literal.
Well, okay. Question fucking number 1. That doesn't explain the ending. That explains part of the ending. That doesn't explain the ending. So, Sam, why don't you describe the ending, the actual ending, and we can work from...
Here's a funny thing. So, like previous movie on the slate, Solaris, I have not watched this movie in about 10
You don't remember, do you?
I do not.
Let me explain it to you, Sonny Jim.
I'm sure I'll recall if you.
So, she's having her remorse guilt, let's say after dream fatigue, and then you remember the old people from the beginning of the film? Of course you don't. You haven't seen this movie in 10 fucking...
I do remember that it's the aunt or whatever.
No, not the aunt. Yeah. The 2 old people from the plane, which get off with Betty or whatever, and they're and they don't not smile. That's the creepiest part, is that they never not smile. Tiny, 2-inch versions of them crawl in under the crack of her door, laughing hysterically. And then they become normal-sized and start going to throttle her. And she's screaming and freaking out because there are these rictus-grinning octogenarians going after her with bloodlust. And then she gets onto her bed and then, presumably is strangled to death. So it doubles back, in fact, to your supposed theory, because that could just be her being dead when in the middle of the movie they discover a dead body there. So, want to fill me up on that one?
I should rewatch the movie. Is what I think you're
Yeah,
saying.
I guess you should.
I don't know. I think David Lynch, often what he's showing isn't really representative of like any sort of reality. It's rather like the thing in itself is a symbol for something
Oh,
else.
you don't say. That's a convenient cop-out for you.
Isn't that convenient?
That's a convenient truth, you dick. But, okay, so let's put that aside. Who is Mr. Rook?
You keep asking me questions that I don't remember the answer to.
Okay, let me try another one. Who's the woman in bed with who you think is, like, the director's wife? But the end of the movie's kind of like, no, he was actually in a relationship with, not actually Amnesiac Girl or whatever. Who were they?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think what he's trying to represent. I don't know how deeply David Lynch is looking into like actual dream theory, but something that happens in dreams is that we will create a person that we know, and then we'll other them. We'll turn them into someone else. So we'll sort of like, I'll have a dream about Jacob. But it's like, oh no, that's not.
But
Jacob.
that can't be Jacob. Jacob doesn't act that way.
That can't be Jacob. Jacob doesn't look like that. So I feel like it's a dream.
So
thing.
you're having.
And that's not
so
a
you're
fair.
confessing that
really
you're
not a
having
fair
dreams
assessment.
about me, which is a bit uncomfortable, but I can deal with that. So what you're saying is there's no answer.
No, there is. Well, you could look it up. You could
No.
go down
No,
the
no,
rabbit
no,
hole.
no, 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 I'm not going to do that, Sam. You know why? Because no one fucking knows, because Lynch never made an answer.
He actually kind of did. There's a weird cheat sheet of
God.
hints. So what did you think of Mulholland Drive, Jacob? Final verdict.
Final fucking verdict? What a piece of shit. Like, I can appreciate the movie for, like, I guess being pretentious art crap, because David Lynch is the guy who fucking started pretentious art crap in movies.
No, he did. He's not even close to the first, but he definitely mastered
Yeah,
it.
he's the master of it. Fine, whatever. I guess that I was too dumb or whatever for fucking David Lynch and his stupid, crappy bullshit.
I don't think it says anything about you being dumb. I think it just says that you don't like this bullshit.
I think I have never suffered fools well. And,
no, you definitely
and
do
this
not.
is exactly it. This is precisely the epitome of suffering fools. I don't know whether it's so that I get to feel superior to whatever is happening, that I'm just this voyeur watching it and being like, haha, I get to understand this later. Yes. Or I like
There seems to be a running theme in the things that I've sent you.
Well, I'm not so...
But you liked Solaris.
Yeah, I liked Solaris. I never got mad at Solaris. Solaris never tried to transcend what it is. It's at its core, Solaris is a movie, and it doesn't try to be anything other than it's a movie. Here's a plot. This is just offensive to me. So yeah,
I made you feel an emotion.
the emotion is rage. So final verdict: thumbs down to quartermast. To if you really if you want to feel smart by imposing wrong answers onto a movie, Mulholland Drive is the movie for you.
I should have rewatched it because then I could actually probably defend it better. I like this. I like that I have no defense of this thing that I made you watch.
Well, what's the common theme, Sam? Between our two?
I was okay. Oddly enough, I was going to say ambition, but I'm curious what your thought is.
I'd accept that.
Actually, you know, it's dreams.
Dreams. Okay,
It's dreams.
You're gonna have to walk me through that one.
Well, I mean, Griffith in the film in Berserk talks about having a dream, and everyone is under the weight of his dream, and he has a dream, and he has a dream. And in Mulholland Drive, like, not just literally that they are experiencing what I would say is a dream, but also Betty has Hollywood dreams.
Well, I'm disheartened. I'm disheartened by the fact you don't mention guts, and his actually really cool speech about dreams in Berserk, which I think
is it the bonfire?
Yeah,
one?
that's my favorite scene in that entire
cool-ass
fucking
scene.
Yeah, because he's just being like, "Wow, I've had such a fucked up life that I can't deal with that."
So okay, so that's my argument. What is yours? What do you think of this?
I was going to say, what was I going to say? Jesus, because I was going to say something corny like, Desire, which is pretty close to
Well,
Ambition.
that's literally the last one we did.
No, we did Love in the last one we did.
No, we did Desire. The episode is called Desire.
Fuck. Well, I guess we're going with stupid-ass fucking Ambition. But, like...
Oh, see, I was going to say Dreams.
Well, Dreams. Well, I struggled a bit with Dreams. Let's talk about Ambition a bit so we can pad the runtime a little bit.
I mean, sort of the same
Oh yeah, this is comedy death. You're trying to think about yourself for a sec.
See, Dreams is better. I've got nothing for Ambition.
Well, I mean, basically, the problem with our sort of argument here is Dreams and Ambition, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, Ambition is somewhat synonymous.
Well, but the thing is, I guess, is that the thing we sort of to Ambition is what we are willing to do for our dreams, rather than just the dreams themselves. But
I think Mulholland Drive is about that too.
It is with the movie director who basically quashes his dreams. But yeah, let's go with
Dreams.
Dreams. It's a dream like. Well, I guess I could also say watching Mulholland Drive is like having a night terror.
That might actually be intentional.
Yeah, for the first hour and a half, you're rigid, you can't move, and you want to fucking cry, but you can't.
I'm so glad that this episode we had such a divergence of opinions, that I liked yours and you really hated mine.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say I don't hate it, but I do. I'm just gonna own this.
No, that's good. That's fine. That's part of it. We want real emotion on this podcast.
I give a lot of emotion. Gave a lot of myself. I'm tuckered out.
Would you like to wrap us up?
Well, I mean, the wrap up is we give each other our next assignment. So, Sam, I am going to link you an hour and a half or so of music by the artist Nujabes.
Oh, I actually know some of his stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't know if that...
I'm not terrified for once.
Okay, that's good. That's a plus. I figured I was going to suggest another thing to you, but I was like, you know what? This calmed me. This was a good feeling I got listening to some of this, and I want to share it with you. So, what's my assignment?
Interestingly enough, also sort of a musical kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
You will be watching a documentary called Koya Niskatsu, Life Out of Balance, which was
I like that we're
soundtracked by Philip Glass.
Okay. I like that we're 3 for 3 for pretentious art shit from you.
Oh yeah, no, I know. I had to kind of go for the triple here.
All right.
The next one will not be. It'll be something very different.
Oh baby, a triple.
You might actually like this. We'll see.
Wait, no, slow down for a sec. Does that imply you didn't think I would like Mulholland Drive?
No, I thought you. Well, I thought there was a good chance you would.
Really?
I don't know if it was a high chance, but I did have a thought maybe you would.
You had a hope and a dream that I would just be like, my life was changed after this movie,
It does hate rich people. Like that's.
That's not. I think I'm actually hurt a little by that. Any concluding thoughts then, Sam?
We'd like to thank Irritating Rainbow for our theme song, You Broke It, from the album Where'd the Truck Go? You can find that on iTunes, or I think iTunes. I think that's pretty much exclusively where you can get it.
They don't have a SoundCloud?
Maybe they do.
Well, go buy their music. It's really good.
Go buy their music. It's very good. So yeah, I don't know. Do you have a final thought?
Well, I put the onus on you. I asked first.
Oh, fuck.
Final word. Go.
Before the free lunch comes self-hatred.
I fucking hate you!